Institute of Global Professional IGP. Greetings from the Institute of Global Professional IGP. Thank you all for joining us and staying with us till the end. Honorable Knowledge Seeker, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Badhun Das. I am from Bangladesh. Dear Knowledge Seeker, I am proud to be associated with IGP. IGP is a social and certified international educational and training institute. In last years, we already served 35 million plus knowledge seekers from 100 plus countries. IGP is internationally recognized and globally accredited. We are connected to more than 450 plus profession and 4,500 plus organization. Institute of Global Professional is an education institute that provides social work globally recognized and reportable. We serve student community research providing holistic social work and nation. We believe that it's not effective to increase one skill just by for informal education. So we provide effective training and consultation to generate professional generation all over the world. We distribute our services locally, nationally, internationally to students, job seekers, job holder, and also for learners, the respective campus location and distance learning platform. We are an occupational and dependable institute. IGP is one of the famous online institutes from all over the world. Our vision is education is not a business product, it's a part of our human rights. Based on our vision, we are trying to reach all corners of the world for free webinars, seminar courses, award quiz competition, mentoring, and counseling, etc. On the other side, we are also trying to offer more than 100 premium services for free, like create own portfolio website, resume builder, cover letter, motivation letter, and wall knowledge platform for gathering general knowledge which can update all day. Kids learning game website, free course, convert sites, and many more. We help to empower you to learn to meet their expectation and even become highly skilled people. We implement several training program, webinar, and offline online courses for youth and learner by professional trainer, speaker, and coaches. Our sessions are conducted by globally renowned professionals to develop all kind of youth and promote the education of their abilities and personalities. Spreading knowledge is crucial for the Institute of Global Professional. We believe that knowledge is love and light and vision. So we try to understand the needs of today's generation and we serve them with research and practice methods. We must have a genuine concern for the learner we present. More diversity, growth, and innovation are required to lead a session with professionalism, passion, and integrity. IGP members are committed to offering effective best quality service and continual improvement so that individuals who seek information can improve their skill level and value. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Before we move to the next, let me remind don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friend in the comment box. Your support is very valuable for us. Thank you. Moving to the next with your continuous support. You already completed 2005 webinars successfully. Moving to the next with your continuous support. We already completed 2005 webinars successfully. Dear IGP speaker, participant, and well-wisher, at this moment, this is a very important message for you all. We change and design our website, www.eduigp.com. On this website, we have surprise for everyone. Hope you will be benefited. We already launched our new website where you can find all our previous activities together with lots of new features. But one strong point is that without an account logged in, you cannot enjoy our service. So create an account for us with profile information. Note that with profile information, you will enjoy our feature. With mismatched data, you cannot do anything here. From now, you have to participate in live quiz competition on our website. We replace slide. You have to join directly on our website. Now you can check all of our previous webinars with verified e-certificate. Now it's easier and time oriented because after the session we will not provide you any code for certification. You have to take part in one exam. After that, if you pass, you will receive your certificate. Otherwise, not. But you can take part in an exam unlimited till you pass. If you're an IGP speaker, you can download all your previous certificate, speakership certificate. If you're a host of IGP, you can download a certificate of gratitude. If you're an online live quiz competition winner, you can download a certificate of participation. If you're selected for lifetime membership, then you can download a certificate of lifetime membership easily. Besides this, if you participate in an award function which organizes combined support with IGP, you can download that also. You can still prepare and download 18 text message certificates from our website within a minute. Certificate of Global Professional Membership, Certificate of Global Influences in the Pandemic, Certificate of Active Knowledge Seeker, Certificate of Social Activities in the Pandemic, Certificate of Achievement IGP Knowledge Seeking Game in 2020, 2021, and 2022, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 1, Authentic Assessment in Teaching Learning, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 2, Teaching Language, Foreign Language and Assessment, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 3, Digital Classroom Engagement 2, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, the New Trend in Innovation, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 5, Artificial Leadership Energy Skill, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 6, Trend and Innovation in Mathematics Education, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 7, Research Comprehension Approach, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 8, Art in Teaching, a special program in the art, Certificate of Participation Webinar Series 9, 21st Century Tool in Teaching Mathematics, Certificate of IGP Corporate Ambassador, Certificate of IGP Campus Ambassador, which you can prepare and download within a minute. From now on, you can participate in 1,000 plus international level quiz with verified certificate. Teaching tips for teacher, health tips for parents, health tips for teens, education tools for teacher. You can join IGP Alumni. You can check out our 50 student services website for free and many more. Dear RGP well-wisher, we promised previously, but lack of technical issue, we are late sending on time. This is a great opportunity to collect your previous conditions, solve all issue from our website. Now I can enroll, reset password, everything, and check the details for all webinar details. It's a cordial request to check all button and pages on our website. She like and still be benefited. Thank you, but note that without an account or logged in, you cannot enjoy our services. At present, we are going to start our 2006 webinar, which name is the Idle Session, and the our speaker ma'am name is Layal Ghadhar. She is from Lebanon. Before I hand over the stage to our speaker ma'am, I'll share a very little bit about her. Educational, international, certified trainer, English language instructor, educational consultant, Lebanon. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to RGP with her presentation. Now, very important moment for me to invite our speaker to RGP with her presentation. Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for giving this another chance with you to present a webinar among the global stage. I'm really glad to be between you all today. And today our webinar is about the Idle Session. First of all, I'm Layal Ghadhar, an educational certified international trainer and education ambassador and a consultant. So today we're going to start together sharing the Idle Session.
Please present your presentation.
Yes, I'll share it. Okay. So is it, can you all see the slide? Okay. So today I will present. Is it fine like this?
No, ma'am, it's not a full screen.
It is still sharing. Okay, I'll stop sharing.
You shared with us the PPT, but it's not the full screen.
Okay. Okay, now it's fine. So today our objectives are the following.
We can't see the presentation.
Oh, you can't see it? Okay, 1 minute.
Your presentation is closed.
Yes. I'll present it again. 1 minute. One minute. Okay. What about now? We'll just wait until it loads.
No, ma'am, it's not yet.
It loads.
It's not a full screen, ma'am.
So we'll wait until it loads. Okay, is it clear now?
If you face problem to make it full screen, please upload your slides. If you upload your slides, it will automatically full screen.
I opened the slideshow. I opened it.
Open, but we can see the full screen. So please upload your slide. If you upload, it will automatically
okay.
full screen.
Got your point. What about now? It is sharing.
Not yet, ma'am.
It is showing the, yes, done. Okay, so our objectives for today. First of all, we're going to identify the 5 E's to obtain an idle session. These days, in order to obtain an idle session, there is something which is a strategy which is called the 5 E's model learning. And now it is updated to be the 7 E's also. But it is similar to the 5 E's. That's why I stayed on writing the 5 E's. Second, we're going to explore together engaging strategies related to the 5 E's. And each phase, we're going to go on through it together in order to show the strategies that we have to apply in each. Determine the benefits of 5 E's to help in performing idle session, enhance student-centered approaches, and discuss the implementation challenges. Of course, the target are the teachers, coordinators, and educators. To start with first, I would like to ask you all a question. What elements or features do you believe would make an idle session for you? If you want to make an idle session, okay, what feature, okay, or for example, element that you think we can go on through our session in order to really come close to the idle session. So I would like you to share in the comments everywhere. So I'm going to give you 1 minute participation. Yes. Participatory. Okay. What else? So I'm waiting for your answers. So what do you think? What are the elements or features do you believe would make an idle session for you? Tell me, please. You can add your relevance. Thank you, GB. GB Basnet. I don't know if I'm reading the names correctly. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Interactive. Thank you, Grace. Exactly. Yes. This is one of the features, or let me say the elements. Exactly. Very good. Okay, what else? Who would like also to give one more answer? Okay. Now, navigating the 5 E's in an idle session. So in order really to obtain an idle session, we have to go on with these 5 phases inside our classrooms during during each session, not during 2 or every 3 sessions or once a week. During each session, we have to go on with the 5 phases that I'm going to go on in details one by one together. First of all, we have the engage, okay? We have the engage, we have the explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. We have these 5 phases, which are very important to go on through in our daily sessions in our classrooms. To continue, I want you now, okay, to also please share your ideas. Imagine walking into a classroom where the atmosphere is filled with what? I want you to write what was the atmosphere filled with using letter E. So again, take turns contributing words or short phrases that describe the classroom's atmosphere using only words that start with the letter E. So waiting for your answers also to be written on the comment. So I would like comprehensive, thank you. Anelita, thank you. So I would like you please to give me words or phrases, okay? As if you are walking, imagining that you are now walking inside a classroom. And I want you to write the letter that comes to your mind. Okay, it starts with E, engaging. Very good, Eve. Thank you. So this is the first engaging, exactly, which is very important to be during our daily sessions. Enthusiastic students, thank you, GB, thank you, exactly. Exactly. Okay, any more answers? I would love you all to share using the comment inbox or any collaboration. Okay, this is very important. Okay, I want it with E. So let's try to use the letter E in order to describe the atmosphere of a classroom. So waiting for your answers. Waiting for your answers. More. Starting with letter E. Describe an atmosphere into atmosphere of a classroom. Okay, using letter E. So more words. Exciting. Thank you, Eve. Thank you. Exactly. Thank you a lot. So as you have said, dear educators, engaging, exciting, enthusiastic students, these are very important to be included during our daily sessions. Let's now go deep and dive in something which is called engage activity. We'll go now with this activity. Okay. First of all, I have here 5 sentences, and I want you to tell me Which sentences you think are true sentences and which are false ones? So again, I'm going to read the sentences. I have 5 ones, and I want to, or I'm expecting from you, which sentences are true, or you think the sentences are true, and which sentences are false. So first of all, we have number 1, the 5E instructional model emphasizes a student-centered approach. Number 2, the science teacher said that the 5Es can't engage students in the class easily. Number 3, the 5Es empowers the hand-on activities. Number 4, the 5Es satisfies the 4 learning styles. And number 5, the 5Es were implemented in NASA. So, waiting for your answers. You can just write the number. Okay? Okay, so Alex, true, number 1. Okay, very good. Number 2, false. Exactly. Thank you. Okay, what about number 3? Waiting for your active participation, dear ones. Miss Eve, 1, 3, 4, true. Thank you. Brilliant. Exactly. Thank you. So I have more here. Okay. I have Alex, 3 true. Yes. I think 2 and 5 are false. Exactly, GB. Exactly. Number 5 true. True. The 5Es were implemented in NASA. Do you think it is true that it was implemented in NASA? Atharva? Okay, so Eve, 2 and 4. Thank you. Yes, you're right. What do we have here? 2 and 5 is, yes, 2 and 5. Sentence 2 and sentence 5 are false statements. Exactly. So I'll go back to go on with each statement. Thank you for your active participation. I'm really glad that you are all sharing your ideas here with me. Number 1, the 5E instructional model emphasizes student-centered approach, which is correct. This strategy or method is 100% emphasizes a student-centered approach, which is very important to really go on in a class with a student-centered approach. Number 2, the science teacher said that the 5Es can't engage students in the class easily. I think she hasn't probably applied the 5Es in the 5 phases correctly or implemented it in an active way. That's why she's saying this. So this is false. The 5Es empowers the hand-on activities, which is totally true. The 5Es satisfies the 4 learning styles. Yes, it really satisfies the 4 learning styles. And number 5, the 5Es were implemented in NASA, which is, of course, wrong. It was just like a joke for you here to give you an engagement activity. So as we have done here, dear educators, we are now trying to introduce the 5Es. So you can do the same with your students inside the class. You can just do a very simple activity, interactive one, emphasize student-centered approach in a way that you engage them. You prepare the student to the new content that you're going to go on through in the learning process during the session or during any other session you want to go on, or the objective that you have planned for. So this phase is called engage phase, because in this way, I'm trying to engage my students to what? I'm engaging my students to my session before I go deep into the knowledge or into the objective that I want my students to achieve at the end of the session. Okay, so again, the 5Es, first of all, now we are in phase 1. Phase 1 says that it is called engage. Engage is the phase that I prepare my student to my new content that I want to start with it during my session. Of course, such a phase should not take 5 minutes, let me say 7 minutes approximately, because whenever we just try to take 10 minutes or 15 minutes using this phase or this kind of phase, This will make our time management a little bit confusing. We will be late to finish our objective that we have planned for, and so on. So, to continue, as I said, so engage phase, first of all, it hooks the students, it grabs their attention, it excites them, introduces them to the new content that you have to go on through, and it attracts them. Whenever you do a very interactive session, and especially you start your session with a very active activities, or let me say approaches, hand-on experiments or activities for the students, you will start your session with really attractive one. You'll hook the students, you'll grab their attention with your creative activities, with your creative strategies that you're going to use. So here we have some activities that we can go on through the during or through the engage phase. First of all, we can go with the mystery questions, scavenger hunt, the charades, the games, and show and tell. So mystery question, of course, we can just bring a box, okay, for our students, and go on, tell them, ask them questions related to this box that I have brought that to them. We can start with games, okay, very games. Charade, I can ask students to act things out together, okay, or I can choose one, and the other students, or I can divide the class into two teams, okay, the team that will guess the answer or what their friends are acting out correctly, they will win. And of course, the acting part should be related to my content or to the objective that I want to go on through. Scavenger hunt, I can, for example, put things, okay, hide things inside the class, ask them to search for the keywords that I want them to be introduced for, and so on. So this phase is very important to be done at the beginning of the session, okay, which is very important to be done first whenever the teacher greets her students, whenever the teacher asks about them, and so on. She has to go on with the engage activity to prepare her students to the session or to the objective that she wants to go on through her learning process. Now, it's your turn, dear educators. We have here, create your own hook activity satisfying the 4 learning styles. Of course, whenever we want to go on with our engage phase or with any phase that we have to go on through, we have to take into consideration the learning styles, okay? Because our students they have different learning styles. So we have to be careful about such thing. We cannot just go on in our session with just satisfying the auditory style or satisfying the kinesthetic style or any other style. We have to go on with the styles that really satisfy all the students in order to have a very interactive session. So please, dear educators, hello Tahani, hello everyone. Thank you all for joining me today. So I want you now to go on, create your own activity. I'm going to give you 1 minute, okay, or let me give you 2 minutes to create your own hook activity satisfying the 4 learning styles. So waiting for your creative ideas, your creative answers, so we can share experience, we can share things together, and so on. VARC model is amazing to address the 4 learning styles. Exactly. It is the best model. That's right. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Good evening, JC. Good evening. So waiting for you, please try to think of an activity, okay, a hook activity that you can prepare your students to anything you want to go on through your session, any objective that you have planned for, and satisfying the 4 learning styles. Duck race. Can you please type more details about this activity? I really its title attracted me. Please, me. Yes, me. Please, can you please just type more details about this activity? I would like to read more about it. Okay, Mr. Hani, as in the math department in grade 7, congruent triangles. Okay, we ask students to create using cardboard triangles with dimensions we need. As for the visual, we can let them watch a video for the triangles which overlap. Nice one. Very attractive, exactly. Okay, Grace, Miss Grace. I'm glad that I'm sharing something really new to you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your idea as well. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you, Miss Grace. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Very creative. I liked it. Thank you. Okay, who would like to share more activities applying or let's say implementing the engage phase, okay, which is the first phase in whenever we start with our session. Okay, as for the auditory, we can create real story or let them explain to each other and they can hear each other. Exactly, Mr. Hani, brilliant. Thank you. This is one of the activities that satisfy the auditory learners. Thank you. Okay, thank you all. Now, engage objectives. Of course, whenever we want to design a lesson plan, we have to take into consideration that there are going to be objectives that we have to go on through each phase, okay? Especially if you are designing your lesson plan using the 5 E's, because whenever you want to use the 5 E's, each phase should include an objective, which is very helpful for you, very you can just know what this phase is going to be about or what objective your students want to achieve and so on. So here we have the objectives that are related to engage, identify, recognize, state, predict, list, recall. So these activities are very important to be done during the engage phase, especially if you are for example, in the engage phase, or you are designing your lesson plan starting with the engage phase. So here I have more creative ideas in science. Thank you, Mr. Hani, for your active participation. You really added a value to this session today. In science, for example, if I want to explain something about photosynthesis, I used to ask them, have you ever seen a tree cooking? Very nice. I liked it. Yes, this is very nice. Exactly. Thank you, dear. Okay, now the second phase. I'm gonna now share with you, okay, a link, the Padlet link. I'll try to put it here on the chat. Okay, please go on with this link. Go on with this link. I have sent it to you. This comment has failed to post. Okay, probably it is not going to work over here. Let me again try. Okay, such links are not allowed. Such links are not allowed to be added here. It's okay. Let me go on through. I was planning to open the Padlet part, okay, and ask you what are the importance of student-centered class. So I would like you to write ideas about the importance of student-centered class. So please type down what are the importance of student-centered class. You can type down your ideas. I'll give them a kind of sound, then they'll draw it afterwards. Exactly, Miss Grace. This is a creative activity that you can go on with your engage phase. Thank you. Student-centered class, independence for students. They can take the ownership of their own learning. Exactly, Mr. Hani. What you have said is totally true. More engaging environment, active classrooms. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Motivate the learners. Yes, GB. Yes, that's right. Totally right. Such a student-centered approach or class really motivate the learners and create an active classrooms. This is one of the active learning strategies that we have to go on these days with our classes and with our students as well. The students analyze and conclude rules, which helps them to be critical thinkers and creative. Brilliant. more engaging. Thank you a lot, Mr. Hani. Thank you a lot. Exactly. What you have said all are really the one that the most important part or parts in the student-centered class. Okay. Now, let's identify or really go deep inside the explore phase. Explore phase is very important to be done in our classes after the engage phase. Why? First of all, let me read the group work helps them as well to collaborate and communicate more. Exactly. Based on the principle, learning is fun and spontaneous. Yes, exactly, GB, exactly. So, explore phase. Why it is very important to go deep inside the explore phase. In the explore phase, I can help my students go on with the content in a way that they dive in the knowledge alone. This is the student-centered class. When I ask my students to dive in the learning process or in the objective that I want to go on alone, okay? Yes, exactly me. Student can remember easily. They can learn it so long. They don't easily fade their knowledge based on their experience. Thank you a lot, Miss Grace and Miss Me. Thank you for sharing. An explore phase helps them to be critical thinkers and try to independently work an issue before I explain. Exactly. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot for your active participation, dear educators. I'm really glad. So exactly what you have said are all, I totally agree with you. First of all, it is very important to ask students to really go deep inside in the knowledge or in the anything I want to explain during the following phases. First of all, during this phase, whenever I tell my students that you have to go on, for example, in a site to read something and try to write ideas related to the site or related to, for example, let's speak about computers, let's speak about smartphones. Okay, if I ask them about that, they have to find out the importance of smartphones. I can ask students to go on with the special links or special sites, okay, to read, to jot down or type ideas related to what I've asked for. They'll come to the class. They will be ready to answer the questions that I already prepared before coming, okay? So first of all, in this way, what am I doing? I'm identifying the main keys of topics. When I ask my students to go on in the explore phase, I'm identifying the main keys of topics. I'm activating their enthusiasm, okay, by participating, by being self-confident because they have searched for things or probably watched a video about and so on. Encounters new information. So in this way, I am exposing my students to the new information that I want to go on through my session, probably during my session on the day I planned it for, or any other thing I want to speak about it in the learning process. So Missy Grace, because they can think critically or differ from the situation, can you comment? Okay, Miss Me, it's okay, but I can see that you can comment here, which is helping us. Thank you. So, which is very important. It is very important to go on in the explore phase to also help students dive more in the knowledge. So race is an adrenaline-fueled racing game where players enter the whimsical world of competitive rubber duck racing. Nice one, Miss Me. Thank you a lot. Okay, so this is what we were going on with the explore phase. What are the activities that we have to take into consideration during this phase? First of all, observation. Okay, I can, whenever I ask my students to watch a video, or let me say, for example, read something, or anything that they have to go on through before I highlight things related to what they have to learn, I can observe them by asking questions, by asking them to bring a data collection, to visit sites, field trips, by the way. This is very interactive also and interesting to them. Okay, also I can ask them to go on discussions, Jigsaw, which is very important. Jigsaw is a group work that you can go on through the explore phase, especially if there are questions after they have after a video that they have watched, or after a site that they have visited, or after probably a field trip that they have gone to, and so on. So each in this and the jigsaw, it is a very cooperative group work, because each group or each member in each group has a task to do, which is very important to go on with this strategy or with this group work. We don't have to just check audience in our class and just let them watch us only, okay? Or rely, or sometimes students, whenever we divide them into groups, some students rely on other or on their friends to find the answers or to work alone, and they just sit like this and watch. No, the jigsaw group is a group that you can assign a task for each student in the group, in each group. So, for example, if a group consists of, for example, 5 members, you can, for example, write 5 questions and ask each member to go on with each number in each group, and so on. At this in this way, you'll finish the 5 questions. Your students will answer everything related, will discuss, will share ideas, will cooperate together, and each student has a task. All the class is engaged in this part, or in this jigsaw group work, okay? And we have here think, pair, and share, which is also very important. It is a pair work. I can ask my students to think, pair, okay, means that they have to discuss things together, and then they share what they have to go on or answer anything the teacher asked them for. Here are the objectives. As I said before, for each phase, we have to include objectives. So it will be easier for us to go on in each objective for each phase to know that we have achieved this objective to our students or not yet, and so on. So the explore objectives, we have use, we have apply, identify, analyze, discuss, and explore. So here the objectives started to go up a little bit, started to enhance a higher level of thinking, because here we have started to dive deep in the knowledge of the content that the teacher is going to explain or going on through in the learning process. Yes, me, okay, I'm gonna type it for you here. It says jigsaw, okay? I don't know if you have received it. It is jigsaw, okay? It's very important to use such a strategy or a group work in your classes. Okay. Now, what comes next after the first 2 phases? So after I finished preparing my students, after I finished, for example, asking them to explore deep inside the content that I want them to go on through, what is the job of the teacher in the 3rd phase? So waiting for your answers before I go on with the new slide. So please tell me, what is the job of the teacher in this phase? So, waiting for your answers. Discussion. Okay. Missy Grace, of course. Okay, discuss about what? What do you think? What do you have to go on? What do you have to discuss? Discuss about what? Monitoring, storytelling. Okay. Very nice, Mr. Hani. The teacher explains. Evelyn, thank you. Explaining phase. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you a lot. So here the job of the teacher is to explain. Now you're going to tell me guide their work. Yes. Thank you, Miss Eve and Mr. Hani. Thank you a lot. Thank you. Thank you for everyone who's really sharing and collaborating here with me. Evaluating. Okay, but let's just put this phase at the end, okay? because we are here still in the second phase, which is exploring. Okay, so later to involve learners, exactly, abstraction part. So exactly what you have said all, I agree with you, except the evaluation part. The evaluation part usually comes at the end of each session. So let's go on with the explain. As you have said all, here, after I asked my students to dive in the knowledge and information and so on, now it's my job. But here, my job is not to just explain and tell them that you have to go on with this and that. No, I have here to motivate them by telling them that what they have done, or the answers that they have answered are all goes in this content and that content. So I'm here just trying to spotlight, or I'm kind of highlighting the important things for my students to take into consideration during this session. Because sometimes if I ask my students to go deep, okay, to read in different sites or to watch a video, they probably will go really deep. That I don't want them to go that much deep. Because, of course, in every session or in each session, there is an objective that I want to achieve. So this is here my job, is to spotlight on the things that I want my students to go on through this session. As a facilitator, guiding their work, Socratic questions, exactly. So the Socratic question is very important to be done during this phase, okay? To show them, as I already wrote it here, thank you, Mr. Hani. As I said here, to highlight about the most important things for my students. First of all, the explain phase here provides explanation, okay? Here, my job is to provide explanation. How? Of course, not lecturing, okay? I don't really want to go on with the lecturing part. Here, I can just prepare a very interactive PowerPoint presentation. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Okay, a PowerPoint, interactive PowerPoint presentation, okay, including in it discussions, questions, Socratic questions, and other things that I want to go, or probably activities, okay? So in this way, I am trying my best to just show them the most important part, or let me say, guiding their work, or letting them know what their lesson is about totally. And in this way also, I am trying to let them understand the concept in a better way, or guiding them to understand the concept in a better way. Okay? So again, explain provides explanation. You can do it through a PowerPoint presentation, interactive one that is full of questions and games. May we know what does Socratic questions refer to? Yes, Socratic questions, open-ended questions, okay? Open-ended questions. Usually these questions can enhance the student's critical thinking, okay? Like, for example, what do you think? Do you prefer like this, okay? If you were in this place, would you do like this? These are the Socratic questions. Because here we can now go on with these questions, since the students really already finished exploring and knowing what the content is about. So Socratic questions here is very important to enhance the students' critical thinking. You're welcome. You're welcome, GB. Okay. So, as I said, provides, first of all, explain, provides information. I can here go on with visual aids, hands-on activities, break down complex concepts. Of course, when I ask my students to dive in the knowledge or in the content or in any site that they want to understand, or they want to know about what they have to learn, I should break down, like kind of scaffolding, okay? I should even here break the objective in order to make things easier to my students to understand, okay? How can I break things to them? First of all, if I have objective, let's say, for example, simple present, okay? As an English instructor, I'm speaking according to my own experience. A simple present tense. Simple present tense is a very wide lesson. Why? It has a lot of details. It has the interrogative part, it has the negative part, it has the subject verb agreement, verb do, verb be, verb has, and so on. So students here will just go on mixed up with all these details in one session. Why should I do this with them? I can break. I can, for example, this day start with the subject verb agreement and of course the form of the simple present. Okay, and then the next day I can also design or create another lesson plan talking about the interactive or what they have to just change the sentence into negative or interrogative. Also, if I have an objective that I want to break, there's another way to break, which is using graphs, okay, using mind mapping, using charts, and so on. Also, if I want to know if my students really getting or were guided well or were guided correctly for what I was doing or what I was going on through my session, I can go on with the questioning part. I can go on with the discussion, think, pair, share also. Interactive PowerPoint presentation can really enhance students' retention. Can you recommend, ma'am, some app that can provide interactive PPT? Yeah, of course, interactive PPTs, you have to design your own ones. By, for example, if you have, let's say, I don't know which subject do you teach, but you can put the questions, okay, inside these slides. You can also go on with different platforms like Padlet, like Mentimeter, like PPTs. You have the AI today, you have the Gamma, you have Tom.app. These are math, okay. So in math, by the way, you are lucky because usually math teachers do a lot of interactive PowerPoints, okay, because in math, the way they teach math is really a kind of interactive and kind of not full of rules, and they have to apply and so on. We can use GeoGebra. This Mr. Hani, she's the math coordinator. She can help you here also. Exactly. Thank you. So now, I want you, dear educators, to sort the objectives. We have here 3 objectives, okay? Okay, I want you to sort these objectives according to engage, explore, and explain. So you have 3 objectives because we have covered so far these 3 phases. I want you to go on to sort these objectives according to the 3 phases that we have just discussed together. So first of all, demonstrate an interest and curiosity in the topic. Interpret and explain visuals, diagrams, or models used to illustrate the content. Collaborate in small groups to design and execute an experiment that builds upon their existing knowledge. Yes, thank you. So please sort the objectives. You can write, for example, number 1 is explore or engage or explain, and continue the rest the same. So Mr. Hani, engage, okay, demonstrate an interest, thank you. Number 2, interpret and explain visuals, exactly. There we are trying to guide the students. Thank you. And the last one, collaborating in groups. This is one of the explore phase. Thank you a lot, Mr. Hani. Does anyone have any different way in sorting objectives, or do you all agree? Thank you, Mr. Hani. I will not say if they are correct or not. I'm going to wait for just 1 minute, 1 more minute for others too. Okay, Evelyn, engage, explain. And the last one. And the last one, I cannot read them. I was listening. Okay. I don't know. Whenever I do the slideshow, it disappears. So that's why they told me not to do the slideshow. I'm sorry. I am not an auditor. Okay. Okay, got you. Yeah, you don't like to read. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Hani and Miss Evelyn. Yes, what you have said is totally correct. What you have said is totally correct. Okay, so engage, explain, explore. Thank you, Miss Grace. Also, you have said correctly the objectives. The first one is engage, because here I'm demonstrating the students' interest, okay, trying to prepare them, trying to grab their attention. In the second one, I am breaking the complex objectives into kind of visual aids like diagrams and so on, or guiding them. Yes, we haven't gone through the elaborate phase yet. Okay, and the last one is, which is the explore phase, because here students are experimenting things alone, okay, exposing to the new knowledge alone, and so on. Okay, so I have, please, the following strategies. When do I use the following strategies? So here we have explainer videos, scaffold reading, peer teaching, questions and answers, interactive presentation, record data. Please tell me, when do we use the following strategies? So when do we use the following strategies? What do you think? I'm waiting for your answers. So when do I use the following strategies? Exploration. Okay, think of it a little bit more. When I bring in explainer video, when I scaffold things. Yeah, which phase? Yes, which phase? When the learners are in the primary level. Okay, still think more. We have finished engage, we have finished the explore phase, and now we are in the explain phase, usually. Yes, exactly, Mr. Hani. Thank you. So usually, whenever we want to put an explainer videos, we are still in the explain phase. Whenever we want to scaffold, we are in the explain phase. Whenever we want to question, to check understanding, we are in the explain phase. Whenever we have interactive presentation, we are also in the explain phase. So this is all the explain phase. Yes. Elaborate. Now we're going to go in the elaborate after this part. Okay, what are the explain objectives? As I said, that each phase should include an objective. We have interpret, provide, compare, summarize, paraphrase, and justify. So I can't ask my students to summarize selections or stories or anything that they have watched if they haven't understood, right? So it's very important to go on with the explain phase in order to make sure that I can go on with the summarizing skill or with the paraphrasing skill. Even I can't ask my students to justify if I'm still in the explore phase, because I'm still here, I haven't spotted the things or guided my students with the most important things that they have to take into consideration. Okay, even I can ask them to compare if I haven't also went deep in the explain phase and spotted things to them related to probably I wanted them to compare between this character and that one. Okay, they have to understand the characteristic of this character, the personality of this character, and the personality of that one in order to have the ability to use the comparing skill. Okay. Elaboration. So whenever we, as teachers, as the talkers, then we are in the explain phase. Yes, we are still in the explain phase, dear educators. We are still. Now, we have, of course, whenever we want to apply things, okay, we have to face a lot of challenges. And of course, for each challenge, there's a solution. So now, dear educators, let's start together. Determine a challenge that teachers may face while applying the 5E model. So waiting for your answers. Tell me. Thank you, Muhammad. Okay, so tell me, please, what is the challenge or challenges that may face you, dear educators, as teachers, okay, while applying or while implementing the 5Es model learning? So, waiting for your answers. What challenges may face you? And let's together discuss the solutions that we can work on to overcome our challenges. Waiting for your answers. So what do you think? What are the challenges that we may face as instructors? Time. This is nice. Yes, time. Challenge time management. Maybe teachers do not all know this process, which will make it harder for them to apply. Yes, you're right. You're right, me and Tahani, you're right. Exactly. Many teachers really suffer from this part, which is the time management, especially in applying the 5 E's model learning. Here, of course, whenever I ask my teacher to go on with this strategy, I should go on, first of all, to ask her to watch a different probably I may create a workshop for this for my teachers to help them implement this strategy in a way in the way that I can go on with my time exactly the same as my session. Okay, I should be careful for each phase should not take more than 5. For example, the engage phase, as I said at the beginning of the webinar, we cannot just go on with 10 minutes engage. No, just 5 minutes. In the explore phase, maximum 10 to 12 minutes. In the explain phase, you can go on with the 15 minutes, because here is the most important part to guide your students with what you have gone on through the previous phases. And the elaborate and the evaluate phase, now we'll speak about the time regarding these 2 phases. Okay, so these are 2 challenges: time management and no experience. Exactly, Mr. Hani, exactly. When the students didn't cooperate what you ask, yes, sometimes students disinterest. This is our job here, not to make our students disinterest about what we are asking them to do. This is how we have to be creative in creating ideas and activities that may enhance our students' interest. Since the class is heterogeneous, need a differentiated instruction for the slow learners to cope with the instruction. Yes, of course. The differentiation part in the class is very important to be applied, especially we have different levels of learners inside our classroom. Here you can do the differentiating part by, first of all, you can go on one-to-one intervention. Okay, while others are working, you can just come to this student, give more instructions, try to scaffold things for him or her, try to give him a task that he's able to think of it or to work with it. Or you can put him in a group work that he can collaborate with his peers and so on. Okay, to ask for workshops with Layla. Thank you. To explain the 5E models and then apply it with my team. Yes, exactly. Workshops are very important to be done before implementing this strategy, because if you don't have well-known experience, or you're not well-known to this strategy, you won't be able to do it. You won't be able to apply it in a very interactive way, active way, or even related to the time management that you have. Okay. We take this process exactly, taking into consideration the VARC learning styles. Yes, thank you, Mr. Hani. Exactly. Mr. Hani is answering you, Miss Evelyn. Okay, according to the differentiated instruction that you have just mentioned, then the questions do not provoke them. We need to provoke their curiosity. Exactly. We have to make them really feel that they want more and more to learn about. They want to, it is your job to grab your students' attention according to what you are creating activities, or how you're satisfying the learning styles. Okay, what you have just said also answered the second part, which is suggest a solution for students who may struggle in applying some activities. You have already mentioned, which is the differentiated instruction, or students with different levels. Okay, even taking into consideration learning styles, the 4 learning styles. This is one of the things that you can go on if students really struggled in applying activities and so on. Okay. So now we are in the elaborate phase. What you have done now, we are trying to solve a problem. And this is what elaboration. Okay, here we went outside the box by discussing things, by suggesting solutions, and so on. This is what I've done with you now. Is you can do it similar to your students, but of course related to your field, related to the lesson you're going on through, related to the objective you want to go on through, and so on. So opportunities are created for students to apply ideas in unique situations or circumstances in order to build deeper comprehensions. So here, when I asked you for challenges and for unique situation, this is one of the unique situations, which is the challenges in implementing the 5 E's. So I tried here, I gave you the opportunity to create your own deeper comprehensions, your own deeper thinking of the challenges that you may face. Okay, this is where creativity and innovation come into play. In the elaborate phase, this is where the students deeply now achieve the objective, and it's time to create, it's time to innovate, it's time to show things which is totally outside the box, but of course related to what they have learned. Okay, with the new ideas, in new ways, and so on. We have different activities here to go on through in the elaborate phase. For example, role play. Okay, if we have a student, if you have a story, okay, and I want my students to retell the story, I can ask them to role play, the story, okay, using their own ways, using their own expressions, using their own words, and so on. Story starters, I can, for example, provide my students with stories. Okay, after reading the story, after they have finished reading it, I can go on to ask them if they can change the story starter or the ending part of the story. This is kind of creative. This is kind of enhancing their students' level thinking and make it a little bit higher. This is what we call outside the box, okay, but it is all related to the content or to what they have learned. So it is when they apply a new case scenario with the concept that they have explored and explained. Exactly, totally true. This is what we have to go on with the elaborate phase. It is a scenario that they are going to apply, okay, but related to what they have explored and explained. I don't want them to go outside the box in a way that they have to forget what they have learned. No, my aim here is to have my students create, have my students here show their creativity, show their innovation, show the new things that they are going to go on through, okay? Mind mapping, this is one of the elaboration activities, debate, hand-on activities, interviews, and so on. So now, please, dear educators, choose the suitable terms that can be used in the elaborate phase. So here we have objectives, okay? I want you, from these objectives, to choose the objectives that are related to the elaborate phase. So, waiting for your answers. We have identify, we have develop, discover, answer, create, recall, apply, demonstrate, and classify. So please type down only the objectives do you think they are related to elaborate phase. I don't know if the screen appeared to you. Yes, now it appeared. Okay. So waiting for your answers. Try to think. It's okay. Take your time in thinking. Create, apply. Very good, Miss Evelyn. Brilliant. Can't read. Can you zoom? Yes. I don't know. Yes. Can you see it now? No, I can't zoom it. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to read them if you want. We have identify, we have answer, we have develop, discover, create, recall, apply, demonstrate, and classify. So what do you think? What are the objectives or the terms that we can use in the elaborate phase in order to create our objective. Apply. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Yes. What else? Yes. Okay, what else? What else can we do? We still have demonstrate, we have develop, we have create. So what do we have more, or what do we still have? Demonstrate, Analita, thank you. Exactly. Compare, yes. Extend, yes, this is one of discover, create, apply, demonstrate. Thank you, Hanima, thank you. Yes, you're right. Thank you a lot. Justify, yes. Yes, it is also considered one of the elaborate phase. Thank you. Now we go on with the evaluation, or let's say evaluate phase, which is the last phase in our the 5 E's model learning, or let's say the last phase in our lesson plan. Okay, the last phase in our lesson plan. Yes, justify, conclude. So first of all, why do we have to evaluate our students, dear educators? Can you please tell me? Why do you think it's very important to evaluate our students? So what do you think? Why is it important to evaluate our students? Yes, it is the last phase, exactly. Do you think it's important to evaluate our students? Because we need to assess their understanding. Brilliant. Yes, that's right. It's very important to assess the students' understanding before we move on to another objective. True, totally true. Totally true. If I found that my students still have gaps in hard read because of my low quality, sorry, okay. I don't want you to read. No, we are just discussing things about why it is very important why is it important to evaluate our students? Okay, dear Hanima? Okay, if there is a gap, to immediately to fulfill it before we continue and explain a new concept. Thank you, Mr. Hani. As you have said, first of all, to find out their progress, to know areas of weakness, to correct areas of weakness. Thank you, Watosh. Okay, to know if they can learn what we are teaching. Okay, yeah, to assess them. Very good. Thank you, Analita. So, as you have all said, dear ones, assessing learning outcomes, which is very important to know if they have understood the objective, they have achieved it. Identifying the learning gaps, as you have said, Watosh, that to know their weakness and to correct it, okay? To evaluate their misunderstanding, exactly, Mr. Hani. We can also reflect on the learning process. That's totally right. Okay, and of course, demonstrating the learning growth. Here we can know if my students really achieving the objective in the correct way or in the way that I want them to achieve. Okay. Now, assessment strategies, of course, because we are going on with the student-centered a student-centered class or student-centered approach. The assessments here not just have to be done just as formative and summative. We can do projects. We can ask our students to go on projects in order to assess their understanding. We can ask them. We can observe them inside the class. We can, for example, ask them to draw a mind map. Okay, a self-assessment. I can just put some notes or a rubric, okay, and ask my students to go on with this rubric to check if he really, to assess himself or herself, okay? Also, evaluation part here is not only to assess the student by putting a quiz or a test. No, I can also make a short game, okay, a kind of a game or a kind of an activity that I can check my students' evaluation or check my students' understanding during this phase, okay, which I already mentioned here, which is the observation part, okay? So the evaluation activities or wrap-up activity, also here the objectives, review, I can ask them to present, I can ask them to share things they know, and of course, assess. These are the objectives that I can use in the evaluation phase. The evaluation activities, as I said, I can go on with the gallery walk, okay? Exit tickets, I can go on with games, peer review, and so on. So, in conclusion, dear educators, these are the 5 E's. Yes, journal writing, rubrics, yes, quizzes, maps. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Competition, very important to have the speed activities during the evaluation part. It's very mind mapping, exactly. Thank you a lot, dear. Thank you a lot for your active collaboration today, for your active ideas, for your creative ideas and active participation. So we are here, we reached the end, dear educators. So in conclusion, model 5E's model learning enhances deeper understanding, creativity, and flexibility. Believe me, based on my experience, I have applied and I'm applying this strategy inside my class, and it's the best way I do during my sessions. Simply, it is the best way to go on with this method or with this strategy while you go on with your sessions, because it will facilitate things to you. Your session will be more flexible because it will be like satisfying different learning styles, has different activities. Okay, you go on with deeper understanding with the students, you go on with differentiation and so on. It is really an amazing model for your students to feel that their class is not just for lecturing, but for interacting with everything the teacher is going on through in this session. The teacher here is just a facilitator. The teacher here is just a guide, guiding them. That's her job. This is all go on with the student. That's why it is called student-centered approach, because it is all highlighting on the student's performance, and that's it. The teacher's job here, as I said, is trying just to instruct students, just guide them to the correct way, or to the correct objective, or to the correct information they want to go on through. So thank you all for participating, for your active participation. Thank you for sharing your creative ideas. Thank you a lot for being a very important part in this webinar. And I'm really glad that I've shared one of the most amazing strategies with you all. Okay. Thank you a lot. I just want to finish my session with the word request here. As you see here, I have a word request. I want you to find out words, okay, related to the 5E's or related to anything that we have discussed during this webinar. Just type down any word that you can see with the in this word request related to, let's say, student-centered approach or 5E's or anything, or the learning styles, anything that your eyes just spot out the words in this word request. And thank you a lot. Compare. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Yes, this is one of the objectives that we have went through. Recall. Yes, this is one of the engaging objectives. That's right. Yes, I know. Jigsaw, share, summary, recall, summarize. Thank you, Miss Grace. Brilliant. Thank you. Yes, that's right. Thank you all. Thank you all for your sharing. And I see you very soon with more webinars and collaborations, role play. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Thank you a lot. Analyze, compare. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yes. Analyze, explore, compare, share, recall, trip, summarize. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Thank you. Thank you. You also, your presence also was amazing. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot for everything. So see you soon. Thank you, Mr. Hani. Thank you a lot. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Miss Grace. Thank you, Evelyn. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your rich content presentation which can impact our knowledge seeker surely. After your presentation, I hope our knowledge seeker can learn something new, which was our only intention. Learn and grow together, IGP Knowledge Seeker. Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Now, ma'am, it's time for our question answer session, which is the one more valuable part of our regular webinar. Honorable ma'am, please stay with us. After a short video, we will back in our session part 2, which is the question answer part. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Welcome back, ma'am. Welcome back to our participant. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment box as much as you want to know from our speaker. Thank you. After question answer, we have a webinar certification and online quiz competition.
Yes, hello again. Sorry, I was waiting. I thought that everything is done now. Okay, I would like if you have any question, dear educators, if you would like to ask anything, you're welcome. You're welcome, Hanima. You're welcome, Mr. Hani. Thank you, Mr.
Ma'am,
Green.
I think after a wonderful presentation, our participant can understand the topic very clearly. That's why no questions from our participants. So once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time in IGP. We have learned a lot from you with new topic. It will add some value to our day-to-day activity along with our academic and professional growth. Honorable ma'am, hope to see you again with a new topic and a new date. Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Sorry?
Honorable ma'am, before we move to the next, if you want to leave this studio, you can.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hani.
Welcome, ma'am. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker stand for the webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Dear IGP Knowledge Seeker, please ask your question in the comment. It's time for our webinar certification process, the most attractive and powerful part of our regular webinar. After a short video, we will start our webinar certification. After webinar certification, we have an online quiz competition and quiz certification. Certification process. Visit www.edioigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching, completing part 1, move to the next with the learning test, passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download. Use certificate if failed to retake the quiz. Download this video with GPT. For your attention, I'm going to share the procedure again. Visit www.edioigp.com. Please make sure your presence on our website. Find a learning session and get enrolled. After watching completing part 1, move to the next visual learning test, passing mark 80%. If pass, back to the course again to download your certificate. If failed to retake the quiz, download your certificate in PDF or JPG. Dear IGP Analytics, it's time for the most engaging part of this webinar, which is an online quiz competition, which is a regular webinar activity. We change a few processes for online quiz competition. Note that after life, no one can participate. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Now, time for the online quiz competition. To join the online quiz competition properly, please follow my instruction carefully. Visit www.eduigp.com and sign up or sign in. Without this, you cannot join live quiz competition anymore. Browse the live quiz button or given link, find the session name and join with your logged website or user account. Click join and wait for a few minutes for others to join. Enjoy an online live quiz competition. After the quiz, we will issue certificate for top 10 as previously, which you can find on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. After a short video, we will start our quiz session. With 19 people, we are going to start our quiz session right now. First question is, what is the ideal training zone for treatment session? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer and 53% people are right here. Our second question is, what is the ideal training zone for treatment session? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 12% people are right here. Our third question is, what is the ideal size of a group session? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 41% people are right here. Our next question is, what is the ideal length for study session? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 88% people are right here. Our next question is, an ideal online learning session has the following. Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is the right answer. 38% people are right here. Our next question is, the ideal length of a conference session is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 59% people are right here. Our next question is, the ideal length of a conference session is option 1 3 hours, option 2 90 minutes. Option 2 is the right answer. 82% people are right here. Eighth question is, what is the ideal recovery intensity of a HIIT session? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 27% people are right here. Second last question of the session is, what is the ideal work intensity of a HIIT session? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 24% people are right here. Last and final question of the session is, what is the ideal period of rest between training session? Is it option 1 or option 2? Option 2 is the right answer. 25% people are right here. ওই বাটার ব্যাগটা না অল্প ওখান থেকে Congratulations to our online quiz competition in top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competition certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. Congratulations to our online quiz competition in top 10. Congratulations again. We will take a few minutes for finalizing the result. After that, we will issue our online quiz competence certificate on official Facebook page and group Institute of Global Professional. At the end of our session, we can say properly feed your skill. Never stop learning, cause life never stop teaching us. Be happy, stay safe, see you again and again. We want your participation in every program. If you want to live a happy life, try to able lot of people or things, Albert Einstein. Before I say or hit the unlike button, again wants to thank all IGP knowledge seekers for your active participation as always. See you again in the next session. Thank you.